Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite podcast, Spilling the Tea Leaves. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Michelle. I am a crystal Reiki master and teacher. I am a crystal healer and therapist. I am your host for this podcast. I am a nomad. I'm a mom. I make memes. I like to travel. I do all that stuff. You can find me on Instagram at Remember Love. You can also find me on my website, rememberlovehealing.com. All my handles are there. I have YouTube, I have Patreon, I have Discord. Find your happy place. It's there. I want to wish everybody a very, very, very happy new year. I know that we started off a little weird. I have to say, a lot of stuff happened that I'm just like, I was not expecting that. But it's still the beginning of the year. Remember, this year is going to be the year for the collective. It's going to be a year where we are focusing on community and how we can help each other. I hope you are an active participant in this shift. This year, well, a lot of people have asked me, how can I help the collective? And that's a really easy question. What lights you up? Where is your light? What is it that you like to do that brings forth your light into the world? Because right now what we need is your light. Whatever you enjoy doing, whatever you love doing, share it. Share that with everybody. Share it with your family. Share it with your friends. Lift people up, even if it's small, like you like doing art, which is not that small actually, because I've been trying to do Procreate and it's kind of difficult, y'all. But if it's just sharing your art, being authentic to who you are, sharing where your passions lie, sharing in what you love, that's how you bring light into the world, and that's how we're gonna make this shift a successful one. So whatever brings you light, whatever makes you smile, share it. I know it's been rough. Actually, this past few days has been rough for a lot of people. So my heart's with you if you are going through whatever you're going through. My heart is with you. And I'm sending you guys love all the time. This year has been, the beginning of this year was a little difficult for me. I had an old friend pass away in a very horrible way. My mother got COVID. My daughter got extremely ill. So it's only 10 days, but I have faith that this year is going to be, I promise this year is going to be a good one if we lead and go in the right direction. All right. So segue into today's episode, which is toxic positivity. What is toxic positivity? This is, if you've ever heard any of my previous episodes, this is a big topic for me. What is it? We're going to just dive into it in this episode and kind of call you out. If you're participating in toxic positivity, we need to make those adjustments, right? And everything is fluid. We change and we grow, and realizing when we are being unhealthy or participating in unhealthy behaviors, we are active participants in changing it. That is a human behavior, right? That is a human experience. Now, toxic positivity is something that for me was taught when I was really young, and it's an adaptive, almost a defense mechanism that I developed when I was really, really young. Growing up in a really, really tough household, you just kind of had to say, okay, everything's going to be fine. It's going to be great. It's going to be okay. It's just going to be okay. It's just going to be okay. And you sort of internalize that. And as you're getting older, you start applying that almost to your regular living. And while some of us do this to like the nth degree, others participate in it in a very much lower level. But when we are doing this regularly, what we are doing is negating the human experience. So toxic positivity is that overgeneralization of happy. I know you've seen all the bags and the shirt and the stickers that says good vibes only. Only want good vibe people. People that are only vibing on my level. Everything's going to be okay. Positive vibes only. I'm trying to think of another example. I got this. I am strong and we're just gonna go ahead and do this. And to some extent, some of those sayings or phrasings can be in jest. Positive talk to yourself is oftentimes healthy, but when we ignore what is actually happening or the consequences of our actions or the repercussions of things happening around us, that is where the bad stuff happens. It's toxic when we are burying our heads in the sand, I guess is the best phrase for it. So if you're in a situation and you are telling yourself, oh, you know what, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. But your house is on fire and you're ignoring the fact that your house is on fire and you're just like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. That's toxic positivity. If you are a person that's looking at your house is on fire and you're like, crap, my house is on fire. Well, I'm healthy. I have my stuff. I'm really upset that my house is on fire. I'm angry. I'm sad. I've lost my possessions. I lost my memories, but I know I'm going to get through this. And I just need to work through this and file with my insurance or see what I can rescue. There you are acknowledging what's happening, but you're talking yourself through it. And that's okay. There's a difference with that. There's a difference in saying, oh, well, my house is on fire. Well, you know what? Everything's going to be fine. Nothing's burning. Everything's fine. It's going to be good. So there's two distinct areas, right? I acknowledge the problem. I'm upset about it. I am acknowledging my feelings. My feelings are valid. Cool. If you're ignoring your feelings because they just don't feel good or because they feel icky, then that's where the problem lies. For those of you who are, for those of you who are aware what MLMs are multi-level marketing. And these are just the prime example of toxic positivity. If you ever had a friend in high school who you never talked to, or you knew a girl in high school and then she sent you a friend request, and then in that friend request she said she has a great business opportunity for you, and then she's trying to sell you like essential oils or these weird wraps on your tummy, she is an MLMer. Sometimes they refer to themselves as like network marketing, I believe. Network marketing. Some people call them a pyramid schemes, multi-level marketing, network marketing, whatever. I am not a fan of these business models for several reasons. I'm sorry if you are. I hope you do some research if you're listening to me. I beg you to do research, actually. MLMs prey on the most vulnerable. They prey especially on women and minorities. And you will never make money on these multi-level marketings, right? Anyway, so the people that make the money in this type of business model are usually like the top 1, 2, or 3%. And those are the people that got in really, really early. But now you have these usually women, unfortunately, who are trying to sell you these products. Pampered Chef is another one, Mary Kay, Avon, all that stuff. The bulk of their money comes from registering people. And they are just like, I'm going to do this. I'm number one boss babe, boss lady. I got this. Me and my sisters got this. I can do it. Oh yeah, I lost a little bit of money, but no worries. I know I'm going to make it up next month. I just have to hustle a little harder. I just have to do this a little harder. I just have to believe myself a little more. Only positive vibes. I don't want any friends who think that I can't do this otherwise. And that's their entire mind frame. They just think if they think positive, they're just going to make it and they're going to get there. And they usually don't. And I've seen friendships lost. I've seen them losing their partners, losing contact with family because they cannot handle another email asking them, hey, can you host a party for me? I just need 3 more sales to get to this next tier. I know I can do this. You just have to believe in me. I believe in myself. Everybody just has to catch up with me. And it's this mentality of, I just have to keep positive when in the background they're losing their money. They're further and further in debt. The person in their upline is pushing them to just buy more products and put it on their credit card. When their partner is extremely unhappy with them because they're just flushing money down the drain, when they're not spending any time with their family because they just got to hustle a little harder, but they're ignoring all these events around them. They're negating this experience because they're just like, nope, positive vibes only. I'm only thinking positivity. And that happens a lot in the spiritual community as well. A lot of people think if I just stay positive, if I just ignore everything that's happening and just go inward, it's going to be fine. And that's not fair. It's not fair for the individual and it's not fair for the collective. When you are only focusing on the good, you are negating the human experience. It's inauthentic. So, since a lot of us have almost internalized this behavior, we have to be able to catch ourselves and see when we are doing it. When are we participating in this toxic positivity? We have to make sure that our inner dialogue is not ignoring what's happening, right? Validate what you're thinking, validate what you're feeling. Okay, I'm in a situation that does not feel good. What can I do to rectify it? If those are if that's your train of thought, awesome. You're putting action, right? If you're thinking, oh, this is a really hard situation, but I can do it. I'm fine. You know what? It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's going to change. The universe is going to provide and it's going to be awesome. That's toxic positivity. One of the things that I wanted to mention was if you've ever signed up for a Reiki session with me or a reading or a group session, I always include sort of a card pool and I do a whole video about things that might have come through, any messages that I need to forward to you. And a lot of the times what I tell people is, listen, I can do all the Reiki every day for the rest of my life for you. And it's going to feel good. But if you're just relying on an external thing to help you or to make you feel good, you're in for a bad time. Because while these might be great vibrational energies, while this might feel good, you're still ignoring what's happening. And if you don't make those changes, you're negating your human experience. You're just hoping that everything else is going to be fixed for you instead of you being an active participant in your life. Sometimes we do this with our friends and we don't realize it. I'm so sorry. I do this a lot. And it's because I want people to feel good. I want people to feel good about themselves. And I have to learn to change my own vocabulary, right? I love giving positive messages. I enjoy making people feel empowered about their path, feel empowered about their passions, feel empowered about their connection to the divine. I love the energy work. I love doing Reiki. I love working with crystals. This is things that I'm extremely passionate about, right? I am extremely passionate about your journey. And I think it's my life purpose and I'm here for it, right? But here's the big but. While I will always be your biggest cheerleader. I love being a cheerleader. I do have to be mindful of the vocabulary I use. And I invite you to look at your vocabulary as well. So close your eyes. Unless you're driving, don't drive and close your eyes. Or you're in a subway and there's a creepy guy next to you. Imagine that you have a friend and your friend comes to you and tells you, man, I'm really having a hard time at work. It's been a challenge. I don't know. There's this lady that she keeps, instigating things, and I try to ignore her, and I don't know. I don't feel good. It doesn't give me good vibes. What do you say? A lot of us would say, "Oh man, that sucks. Have you spoken to your boss about it? To HR? Oh no, it's not a big deal. It's not a really apparent thing. She's just icky. Well, you know what? Don't worry about it. You'll figure it out. You're a strong person. She's probably just jealous. Don't even worry about it." That is almost invalidating what they're sharing with you. And you're not doing it on purpose. Don't think you're doing this on purpose. You're just trying to minimize their problems so they don't feel awful about it. You want them to feel good. Or you can say, "Oh, you know what? You're really strong. I think you'll figure it out. You'll be fine." Instead, tell them, "You know what? It's really okay to feel bad about this. It sucks that this lady is just giving you such a hard time. Tell me more about it. What is it that makes you angry or upset?" Because it's okay to feel angry and upset. Your feelings are totally validated. Just why don't you share with me and see, maybe we can figure something out together. That is a healthy way through that conversation. And of course, it depends on your friendship with the person. If you're not going to sit there and have a whole therapy session, I'm not telling you to have a whole therapy session. If you don't want to connect with the person, that's fine. But validating how they're feeling is crucial. It's very, very important in order for us not to participate in that toxic positivity and continue to propagate the idea of toxic positivity. Because this person can just go to work and be like, "Yeah, I'm strong. I can handle this." While, Karen is pooping on her every day while she's at work. And she's just invalidating how she feels. Talking about healthy boundaries, how she feels is valid and it's authentic. And maybe this person just sucks. Karen is a horrible person, and let's try to figure out how we can approach somebody who can essentially help us in rectifying the situation. Good vibes only, or positive energy, positive vibes, all that stuff, is almost like the literal opposite of what shadow work entails. Shadow work, if I do have an episode on shadow work, I'm probably going to update it because it was an older episode with my old co-host, who I no longer work with, obviously. But it is almost the opposite. Shadow work, you're going inward. You are acknowledging your feelings, acknowledging how you feel, acknowledging the parts of you that are not stellar, acknowledging the parts that may have flaws, and sitting with it and working through it or working with it and realizing why we feel that way in order to raise our own vibrations, right? But we are all human. We are all having a human experience. And we just need to validate our feelings and not ignore them. It's not healthy for us. It's not physically healthy. If we have pain somewhere and we continuously ignore it and say, "Oh, I'll be fine, I'll be fine," that's not healthy. That is toxic positivity. That's being toxic to our own health. As a matter of fact, and I'm going to tell you a story. When I was growing up in Miami as the daughter of immigrants, going to the doctor was not a thing that we did. Unless you have a broken arm, you kind of don't go to the doctor, which is weird. I don't know how we stayed so dang healthy. But if you have a broken arm, then we will go to the ER. The ER was our doctor. Otherwise, just hope and pray that you never got sick. So I just, again, internalized this a lot. And a few years ago, I was having really bad pains on my stomach, but it kept on my upper abdomen, and it kept coming and going. And sometimes it'll hang out for like 15, 20 minutes and then it'll disappear. And then I would be fine for a week, and then the following week and come back, and it just kept going like that. Until one day, my husband catches me balled over in pain, and he's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Oh, I just have this really weird pain on my upper abdomen, but it'll go away. I'll be fine. I'll be fine." And he's like, "What the crap are you talking about?" I'm like, "No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm fine." What was I doing was I was ignoring the pain and just pushing through and being totally positive about it. It's fine. It's fine. And he still tells a story to this day. One day I'll have him on the podcast so you can listen to him. And he kind of like, okay, all right, I'll just keep an eye on you. But for some reason that night, the pain would not go away. And I kept curled up in like this fetal position in pain in the bed. And it was like 11 midnight, and it was not going away. I wasn't feeling well. And he's like, "Okay, we're going to the doctor." I'm like, "No, it's fine." I'm still saying it's fine. It's fine. We don't need to go to. He's like, "No, get in the car. We're going to the emergency room." And we ended up going to the emergency room. I ended up having gallbladder issues, and they're like, "Yeah, well, you need surgery like right now." And I'm like, "No, listen, this doctor is telling me I need surgery," and I'm still arguing with him. I'm like, "No, it's fine. You know what? The pain went away. So whatever you did, great." He's like, "You need surgery, ma'am. Like soon." And I'm like, "No, I don't." And I'm sitting there arguing with the doctor because in my head, I was like, "I'm fine." I don't know why. I don't know why I do this. I don't know why I am the way I am. I am a human having an emotional experience, a human experience. And this is part of my human experience. Long story short, I was like, "Oh, I'll just fly out to the US and have surgery in the US," because having surgery in the Middle East was not on my top things to do. And our doctor said, "No, we can't put you on a plane because if you have another attack on the plane, you might die. You know. So we are going to schedule you in at the local hospital, and you're going to have surgery." I was like, "Yay, but I'm fine now." Y'all, I am still arguing with these people, telling them I was fine. I wasn't fine. I ended up having surgery. I had my gallbladder removed, which was okay. It was an okay experience. I've never had surgery before. It was scary, but it was what I was trying to avoid. I was literally trying to avoid that situation, and that's the same situation I ended up finding myself in. But if I listened to myself, if I didn't have my husband, who is my voice of reason, telling me you need to go to the hospital, I don't know where I would be right now. But I do this sometimes, and I know we do this. I know a lot of us do this, and it's not a healthy thing. It's not healthy for us physically. It's not healthy for us mentally. If we feel like we're drowning, we can ask for help. We can literally ask for help. Somebody out there is willing to help us. Just sitting there saying, "This is fine. I can handle it. I can handle it. Yeah, that's okay. I can handle it. I can handle it." We end up stressing ourselves out, having anxiety attacks, having panic attacks, falling into depressions, because we're not handling what the problem is. We just keep ignoring it. And spiritually, it's not healthy either. We can't understand what is good for us if we keep placing everything in a "this is fine" category, or I can handle this category, or only positive vibes. I'm going to ignore everything else that's around me because it just doesn't feel good. So, toxic positivity. Are you participating in it? Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Today's episode is a little shorter. I'm trying to get these a little more condensed for you. So you're able to listen to them a lot quicker, and you can listen to the next podcast over, or just click over back and listen to the previous episode. I love you forever. Thank you again for joining me on Spilling the Tea Leaves. Again, my name is Michelle. You can find me on my website at rememberlovehealing.com. All my handles are there. You could also find me on Instagram at rememberlove. I have some pretty funny memes there, if I do say so myself. I think I'm a funny person. If you want to join our Discord, feel free to leave me a message on my Instagram, or join our mailing list on my website. I have a free guidebook for you guys, and I will give you our Discord link so you can join in the conversation, join in on the chats. And you can also visit me at YouTube. Just search Remember Love Healing. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, Michelle at rememberlovehealing.com. Let's see what else. I think that's it. I think I got every social media thing handled. I'll be uploading a video on our YouTube channel on my safari trip that I just took recently to Amboseli. It was amazing. I saw so many giraffes and zebras. Do you know zebras here are like horses? They're like everywhere. It's weird. It's really weird. Well, when I say everywhere, like outside of the city, right? It's like the Lion King. It was amazing. So I'm going to be uploading that video soon on my YouTube channel. And I think that's it. I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, my name is Michelle. This is Spilling the Tea Leaves, and I will see you next time. Make sure to be kind to yourself, kind to each other, and love.